Welcome home, daughter. I see you brought guests.
Don't you dare call me daughter, witch!
Such insolence! Wait until your father hears of this. In the meantime, I leave you in the care of my servants.
I'm out of range.
Come back and face my steel!
Mace! Running off seems like a bad idea. We have more of a plan than that. Right?
Heroes, your strength is needed. We must
I need
see
to
this
get closer.
evil brought to an end.
We'll investigate the grounds while you dispatch her servants. Good hunting.
I'm out of range. I don't have a target.
Will end you.
Oh, I guess we're... okay. Oh, disoriented. Oh. Alright, so I guess this is going to be the first boss we face. Among the first to give themselves over to the Heartsbane, these siblings have each mastered their own specialized form of magic. Now they seek to obtain greater power through wielding their focusing iris. Ooh, that disorient is a little annoying.
I'll carve screams from your flesh.
You belong to me now!
Uh-oh. I'm not in control. Okay. By the way, before I did this, I went to the auction house and got some better gear.
You bear the black mark.
Spread.
Your destruction is at end. To me, sister. My thorns will rip you to shreds.
Give me the iris, you fool! Only I can focus its power!
So yeah, I like that it goes ahead and does the icon thing to really help us know who to focus fire.
You've had your turn. Your destruction, my body creates iris my curse. It shall linger.
Nothing less horrid than knowing these foul creatures no longer proud the night.
Again.
What was that, Yorick? I couldn't hear you over her dying breath.
These rooms are clear.
far away.
There we go. I love that the blade dance just moves as you move. Alright, so I think next, if we're going outside here. Oh gosh.
I don't have a target. I can't attack that target. I need to target something first.
Whew. So we have a paladin tank. Ooh, a dark iron dwarf
I
paladin.
need a target.
We have a priest healer.
I
We
don't
have
have a target.
DPS shaman and a ret paladin. So next we're facing the Soulbound Goliath. The Soulbound Goliath is an amalgamation of tortured souls from the Kul Tiras people it has devoured. Their tormented cries echo from within the monstrosity, a dirge for those foolish enough to cross its path.
I need to target something first.
There is no hope. The thorns seek your soul.
Oh, I'm stunned.
The thorns seek your soul. Fire will be its undoing. Fire will be its undoing. The thorns seek your soul.
Oh, hold on.
The thorns seek your soul.
Hopefully this finishes them off. There we go.
Make sure Lady Waycrest pays dearly for this
Ooh.
foul witchcraft.
Yeah. A 370 ring? Yes, please. There were some other better ones, but some of them, as I, was saying before, some of them are like hundreds of thousands of gold. It's only fortunate when some high-level stuff you can see is like only like 2,000 gold, which is like a bargain these days. That's like a huge deal to be able to actually get really nice gear for like only like 1,000 or a little more than that. Compared to some other stuff, like that's like level 400 or something, that's like 300,000 gold or something like that, which is like, yikes.
I'm out of range.
By the way, I decided to go ahead and do the Wrath Chill illusion thing here on my Warglaives, just to see what it was like in action, in case those of you wanted to actually see it.
I need to.
Okay, this is kind of gross, but then again, the boss we're about to face is kind of gross as well. We are coming up upon Rawl the Gluttonous. Well, Rawl the Gluttonous was once the main chef for the Waycrest. Now his kitchen is a chamber of horrors where he has been serving portions of himself to the damned guests that haunt these halls.
It's too far away. I need to get closer.
Something's aggroed.
Out of range. I need to get closer. I need to target something first. It's too
Oh, careful. I don't know if we want to aggro the boss just yet without clearing the rest of the ads. And they're getting close.
I'm out of
Oh,
range.
silenced.
I need a target.
Oh, stuck behind the table. Oof. Man, that damage. Alright, here we go.
Watch your step.
Fresh meat. Everyone wants to copy the butcher.
Shockwave.
Tenderize. Uh-oh.
Killers.
Ugh.
Watch your step. Watch your feet. Watch your step. Watch your feet. Shockwave.
I'm like not losing any health.
Watch your step.
Can't attack that.
Dead meat. You go on. Find Lady Waycrest. Settle
Oh.
the score.
She's got that set that I've got to work on.
Dear, it seems you have slaughtered my entire household. The carnage is dripping through the floorboards.
It's too far away.
Why not join me in the basement and marvel at death's beauty?
I don't have a target.
Alright, so now it's time to make our way down. Hold on.
I need to get...
We'll read that in just a moment.
I can't attack that target.
Stricken with grief due to her ailing husband, Lady Waycrest called out to any power that could save him. Gorak Tul answered her cry and promised that death would never part the couple. For a price.
I need to get close.
It's hard to feel any sympathy at all for Lady Waycrest and her decision when you see what happened and what she did to, you know, her daughter at her daughter's wedding. You know, it's hard to feel for, you know, any sympathy at all for her.
I'm out of range. I need to get closer. I need a target.
Avenge me. Oh, look, husband. Your supper has arrived.
3, 2, 1.
No! You won't take it from me!
Watch your step.
See, this is what's confusing.
3.
They made her look like she was terrible in that flashback with the wedding.
You won't take
And yet here, they're trying to make it her sympathetic with her saying things like, "You won't take him from me!" Like, the idea of being separated from her husband is the worst possible thing, and yet murdering her daughter's fiancé is completely fine.
can never be broken!
It's just such a strange thing. It's just hard for me to understand.
Three, 2.
I need to target someone first.
Sheep! Not it!
At long last, the nightmare is over.
Is it?
Foolish child, you lack vision. Death is an inevitable force that stalks you at every turn.
Gorak Tul, how is this possible? My ancestors defeated you ages ago.
Your and
Oh yeah, by the way, we encountered him
my people,
earlier.
but they could not.
Forgot to tell you that, Lucy.
For countless
too far
years,
away.
I waited to enact my
I
vengeance.
don't have a target.
Until, at long last, your mother provided me the means. Lady Waycrest was merely a vessel for my power. By destroying her, you have opened the doorway to your world. Now,
Oops.
your nightmare is just beginning.
I'm
We
out of
cannot
range.
allow Gorak Tool to cross into our world.
Every horror in the manor is making its way to us. Sterntide and I will hold them here. You have to finish this.
I can't attack that. I need a target.
All right.
None will escape my vengeance!
Quickly, burn it!
Gorak Tool and his bloodthirsty Drust were first defeated by an ancient order of Kul Tiras soldiers 2,000 years ago. Trapped within the Blightlands, Gorak Tool bided his time, waiting for an opportunity to exact his revenge. Now Gorak Tool has corrupted Juspar's seat of power, and his new followers feverishly conspired to release him from prison.
Interrupt. Clearance.
Set them aflame before the Trust King resurrects them!
Rise!
Quickly, burn it!
Interrupt.
Quickly,
Interrupt.
burn it!
Death cannot hold me. Fools! You have merely defeated a vessel. I await you in the Blighted Lands.
Gorak Toll has been banished.
See? There is nothing a strong arm and a sharp steel can't fix.
Thank you, heroes.
Huh.
You've broken the coven and released us from Gorak Tool's power. We are in your debt.
I'll have to turn the quest outside the dungeon. But just, there was just something I want to point out about this. Look at his model, Lord Waycrest. Look at what has happened to him. This is apparently what had to happen for him to survive. Look at his arm. I'm guessing this is the price that she was willing to pay to this guy. Again, I want to iterate this. It's hard for me to actually feel sorry for Lady Waycrest. I feel very sorry for Lord Waycrest. He didn't ask for any of this. He would have probably preferred dying compared to this. He was basically turned into a golem just to stay alive. I mean, he was basically not doing anything of his own will at this point. But I honestly don't feel any sympathy or sorry for her, even though it's trying to, I guess, do so by saying that she was grief-stricken and she was willing to make any deal with Gorak Tool to keep him alive because she apparently couldn't bear to part with him. And it's just kind of like, okay, but based on the things you've done, I don't feel bad for you. You destroyed this whole land, you know, and you murdered your daughter's fiance, your future son-in-law, for petty reasons, in my, you know, based on what I saw, in my opinion. It's just odd that it was just, like, trying to, I guess, make it seem as if she's sympathetic with her reasoning here with the grief, and I'm just like, why even bother with that? Like, this conflict of almost making her sympathetic while also making her very petty and basically evil and, like, power hungry, and it's just very confusing. Very confusing. Anyways. Let's go turn this in and finish off Justvar, shall we? Yeah, I'm guessing Aram Stand is going to be like the next, like, from this point on, it's probably going to be like the main place for Justvar, because Coeur d'Alene is basically no longer a thing at this point. They're going to have to do some serious rebuilding there. But Aram Stand, though, it's still in pretty good condition. So...
What is your business with House Waycrest?
I do not relish what we've done, but it was necessary for the good of Justvar. I only hope that the sacrifices we've made will be worthwhile in the end. My people have suffered loss and pain, struggling in the darkness that covered Justvar, but now we have some light back. We have the means and the will to reclaim our lands from the lingering evils. Your help has brought much of that about. I will miss my parents. Though their end was dark, they were family. But my duty as the head of House Waycrest is clear. The dead can handle themselves. I must attend to the living and lead. There is a short ceremony that I need to conduct. Would you assist me?
And following seas. I will meet you by the statue on the hill.
All right. Aram Waycrest, the first Lord of Justvar.
Greetings, Outlander. The Coven will pay for their atrocities. We have all felt the sting of loss, but the fires of hope burn bright. Inquisitor Cleardawn, you exceeded our expectations, displaying compassion, bravery, leadership, and cunning. But Drustvar has greater need of your services in a larger capacity. How might I help?
She is going to be the new Marshal.
I name you Marshal Cleardawn, and appoint you the head of the Waycrest Guard. Everett trained you well. I know he will be proud of you.
Thank you, my lady. I won't let you down.
I think it's well deserved. I must continue to set my house in order, but our relations with the rest of Kul Tiras have suffered neglect for too long. I have some additional things to handle here first, but I will go to Boralis soon to set the rest right. My deepest thanks for all that you have done. You have done much for my home and the people of Justvar. Tell your allies that House Waycrest will return to Boralis shortly. Return to Talia in the Harbor Master's office in Boralis. Alright.
You mind your business, and I'll mind mine.
So, I don't know about you, but I really enjoyed this zone and the storyline in it. A lot of creepy elements, but there were a lot of really good moments. The overall motivation for Lady Waycrest for me is very confusing, as I mentioned earlier. But other than that, I mean, a lot of this was really good. Now, one of the biggest things, though, that's left open here at the end of this is Gorak Tool. Remember what he said at the end of the dungeon there. Let's see if I still have it here. After we beat him. Let's see. You have merely defeated a vessel. I await you in the Blighted Lands. Now, we're probably going to have to wait until we finish the Kul Tiras storyline. Because I don't remember if this ever gets resolved. It's possible that's who we end up dealing with by the end of the full Kul Tiras main storyline involving the Proudmoores. But if not, then my first guess here is when he says the Blighted Lands, I wonder if he's referring to the Shadowlands. And if so, because I don't remember if this ever gets resolved here in BFA, if it has not been resolved, does that mean we're actually going to have a resolution with Gorak Tool in the Shadowlands expansion? Is that something they're actually going to build up to, where he's actually a raid boss? Because this is something they often do. That was just a vessel of Gorak Tool. That wasn't actually Gorak Tool. That was just a vessel. Not actually him. You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of... where is it? This right here. This was a shade of Xavius. This wasn't actually him. This was just a shade of himself. He was the dungeon boss. So we weren't fighting him at full strength. So where do we fight him at full strength? Here. This is where we fight him at full strength. In the Emerald Nightmare. Now, they don't have him in a raid here in BFA, but the fact that he specifically says the Blighted Lands, to me, is almost hinting that he's going to possibly be in Shadowlands, unless this gets resolved at the end of the Kul Tiras line with the story with the Proudmoores, which I don't remember if that's the case or not. So,
finally, some action.
I cannot believe all that has gone on in Drustvar. I'm thankful that House Waycrest will return. So he has a quest here that I think might be at the end of the storyline, because it's basically having to do with Greymane and, Jaina's mother. So, we must convince Catherine Proudmoore to pledge Kul Tiras to the Alliance. Flynn believes that the Ashbane Trading Company's new gunpowder is our best lead.
I've always dreamed of adventure. For Kul Tiras.
All right, Flynn, what's this big lead of yours? Something about Ashvane having a new gunpowder?
How is that a lead? They're making new weapons all the time.
Not like this, they aren't. Emissary, mind giving our skeptical colleagues here a demonstration?
The Ashvane Company doesn't know it yet, but throwing you into Tol Dagor was the biggest mistake that they've ever made. That new powder that we swiped could be the key to bringing them down. First, how about we give everyone a little demonstration of just how powerful this stuff is. Loads just a pinch of the glittering powder into his pistol. Spoilers, it's Azurite. Go ahead, take a shot at that barrel over there. Alright.
What was that?
Ashvane's...
That was Azurite.
Secret. And that was just a...
Yes, it's Ashvane's dirty secret.
How much damage they could do with more of this stuff.
Again, the Azurite is basically all around, and we're using it, so it's like, this isn't really that big of a surprise. By the way, apparently this illusion is kind of bugging or glitching, so I'm just going to go back to what I was using before.
See you around.
That's a kick, don't it?
Sound off.
So Ashvane's goons are walking around with a new powder that can blow a galleon clean in half and the military has no idea. We need to find out how much of this powder that they have and where it's going. An old buddy of mine works the ferry down by the Ashvane Foundry. He may know something about this. You can take the ferry from Tradeswinds Market to East Point Station. Once you get there, look for a man named Cagney. Tell him that I sent you. He owes me a favor.
Flynn,
Okay.
I have another job for you. Help our new ally track down the source of this powder.
You got it.
Talia, prepare to...
So, yeah, in case you're curious...
Tell the city guard to be on the lookout for unusual weapons being smuggled into Borealis.
Aye, sir.
So, in case you're curious, this is what it is. Gen Greymane left this letter for you. He indicated it was urgent. And it says, you have helped to unite the Kul Tirans and gain their support for the Alliance. This is obviously afterwards, so... So it makes more sense to do that after I finish the storylines for all 3 zones. And so, with that, we have finished Drosvar, and we will now be able to actually continue the storyline for Tiras Sound, but we might instead do something else as a break from this in between.
Soldier.
As I said before, this just unlocks world quests. I'm not ready for that. However, this right here... Nixaden, I have need of you. Maev and Chandris are en route to Stormwind to petition King Rin for aid in retaking Darkshore. You have proven a loyal ally to my people in times past. I ask that you join their audience with the king and lend your voice to our cause. I suspect that we shall meet again soon. Taronda. Meet Maev Shadowsong and Chandris Feathermoon in Stormwind Keep. Again, the reward for this quest line is Blessing of the Night Warrior, which is a Blizzard account bound. It unlocks the Night Warrior customization for Night Elves upon completion of the Taronda's Vengeance storyline. I like how that just flies away now. Now, of course, this character being a Night Elf Demon Hunter, of course he's going to want to participate in this and feel a motivation to help avenge them. As I said at the beginning of this playthrough, that he would, feel a sense of obligation and vengeance, on behalf of the Night Elf people, which is what he used to be a part of. He connects more with the Illidari and the Demon Hunters more than the Night Elves, but there's a part of him that still feels that connection. After all, Illidan used to be a Night Elf, so... We may go ahead and just do that whole storyline before we continue with Tiras Sound. I'm not sure. So, because I'm enjoying questing through Kul Tiras. I've been enjoying this a lot so far. So, I don't know how Tiras Sound is going to compare to the other 2 zones that we've already done. But we may just go ahead and do the Taronda storyline in between. I'll try and figure that out and decide when we come back. Stay tuned.